Center for Family Health, Interim CEO and Chief Operating Officer Sara Benedetto, and Clinic Manager Tracy VanBuskirk. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And I do not have either of those shirts.
Okay,
Just so you
good.
know.
All right. Well, if you ever need, we have extras. So, how are things going? How is things in the new role?
Things are going really well. We have a lot of exciting things going on, and yeah, we're plugging away and just really happy to be serving our patients and meeting the needs in the community.
Yeah,
So,
and we've been talking, over the course of the pandemic about the backup of vaccines and getting ready for school and things like that. Jackson County, we're doing okay, but we see across the state it's not great. Talk about when people can come in and get those vaccines and get ready for school.
Yeah, so I'll start it off and then I'll turn it over to
Sure.
Tracy. But yeah, so one of our school health centers is open, the Parkside Health Center. That's open Monday through Friday, so folks are welcome to use that facility if it's more convenient for them. And then, of course, our downtown location, we have lots of options there. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays from 9 to 6.
Wow.
So right now, we're really encouraging people to come in to get their vaccines during our normal business hours, the daytime hours, and we have a few slots available in the evenings as well, trying to make sure we're available for that. So.
I think the Parkside, that's new because during the pandemic, you had to close the
Yes.
school-based health centers.
Yeah.
So that's been, just from seeing the people as you drive by, it's popular.
Yeah, we reopened Parkside on July 25th, I think it was.
Awesome.
And Sean Heiler's the provider there, and we're seeing a lot of patients. You know, with being closed for so long, it's kind of building back up slowly. Mm-hmm. And we're working hard to be able to open our other sites. We're just not quite there yet, but we're getting close. So
It's got the same problem everyone else has, staffing.
Yeah,
It
staffing,
is.
right?
Yeah, that's for sure. I just was at a conference in Chicago for a National Association of Community Health Centers, and that was a big topic throughout is staffing at all levels, not just the clinicians, the providers,
Yeah.
but
Tracy, as far as immunizations, what are all that you offer at the Center for Family Health?
We pretty much offer everything across the board, obviously including COVID vaccines and very shortly flu vaccine again. Mm-hmm. So we're getting ready for that. We don't have a start date for the flu. We're waiting on our chief medical officer to give us a start date for that, but we do have it at our facility. We have expanded a little bit on our vaccines due to the pandemic. In the past, we have only given vaccines to patients at the center. However, we've expanded that to anyone that needs to come in and get a vaccine. And that might have helped, with Jackson County. We've also implemented this year doing home vaccines for families that don't have the ability to get into the office. Say they have the barrier of maybe several young children and it's just not feasible to come in to finish the vaccines, or they have part of their vaccines or they're too ill to have vaccines at that visit. We've been arranging with our community health workers to go out to their homes and vaccinate their families if necessary. So we're trying to break down that barrier as well for our patients.
You're a clinic manager, and you with a focus on women's health a little bit. What are some of the services that you offer for women?
Well, this has been very exciting. We've really put a lot of focus on this in our area. There's just a huge need for it on many levels. Some things that we do at our center for women, we do a lot of procedures in office so that they don't have to feel like they need to go to a different location for that. Leaps, we do some ultrasounds, we do colposcopies. They're a bit more invasive and uncomfortable, and I think where patients establish the relationships with our staff, and it's more comfortable for them to have that done in office. So now we offer labs to be done in our office instead of having to send them down to a different location for their lab work. It's more consistent. We're very excited. We've done a lot to try to make it as convenient and a one-stop shop for the women in our community.
Healthcare for all, right?
yeah. And of course, prenatal. We could do a lot of prenatal care, and we have some really great staff, and Tracy's doing a great job of making sure that we're looking at barriers and trying to help address those. And she mentioned blood work that we draw during the visit. We also do the non-stress test, which is very common for women in pregnancy, especially towards the latter part. We do those right in our office as well, so folks can have kind of all of that done right there by folks that they're comfortable with. And Yeah.
Did people put off their health care during the pandemic?
A little bit, yeah.
I think so.
There's
yeah.
some, but
Yeah.
but we're fully open, and folks are coming in, and we're doing a lot of reach out through different mechanisms, trying to make sure that whatever works, trying to cast a wide net to make sure that anyone can get in.
Matthew was just talking about the new vaccines, the reformulated vaccines. What do you guys know about that? It'll be something you'll offer when it's available?
Well, we actually have the Novavax already in stock,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and that was the reformulated. It's a sort of a standalone. It doesn't go in conjunction with the other mRNA vaccines. And also, hopefully very soon, the bivalent, which is the booster, that just was recently approved today, I believe. So we're hoping to get that in as well. So we have pretty much, if anybody wants it, we've pretty much have that type.
Does it seem like just yesterday, or does it seem like a long, long time ago that we had tents set up and all the drive-throughs and
Both
you know.
and.
Yeah.
And we still have our tent
Yeah.
downtown, so that's primarily where we're doing our COVID testing,
Yeah.
unless you have a need, if you're in for an appointment. But yeah, it's,
Busy back to school time. You guys get people up to date on the vaccinations, but also school physicals. Have you been
Yes.
busy with
yes.
athletes and back
Yeah,
to school?
athletes, and a good thing is that there's still a lot of expectation that folks have that, when you go back to school, you get that back to school physical. So whether an athlete or a student, it's still important to get your physicals. And so we have lots of capacity at Parkside. We have Sean is seeing a lot of kids. And to use our Parkside Health Center, I think the graphic is up, or is the graphic on right now?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there we go.
so you can see the Parkside Health Center, we also see adults too, so kids of all ages. You don't have to be a student in the school. You can be an adult. A lot of parents, when they're bringing their kids in, it's just more convenient for them to also get the things that they need there too.
Yeah, and it's important to get used to getting a physical, because when you're an adult, it's recommended that you get a physical
Yes.
every year.
Every
So
year,
it's nice to kind of plant that seed that
Yeah.
this is part of health and
Exactly.
something you want to do every year.
Yeah, and it really helps the kids learn also to take ownership and responsibility
Yeah.
of their own body, and learning as they grow older
Right.
that I'm responsible and I only get one. And
That's
so
right.
do a lot of
Yeah.
education with the young folks that come in.
Well, the center, I think, did a great job during the pandemic. I know that a lot of people were served with treatment and vaccinations, and I believe you got a lot of people that were new that didn't realize that the center is for everyone.
Yes,
Everyone.
we have. Yeah, we've had a couple folks come through, more than a couple, that say, "Hey, I didn't know that anyone could come here, and I'm gonna stay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep coming."
Thanks for all you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks for having us
Of
this
course.
morning. We're really happy to be here.
Sarah Benedetto is the Chief Operating Officer and Interim CEO at the Center for Family Health, and Tracy VanBuskirk is Clinic Manager. Bright Walls on the morning show next.